All right, this is a video on basically my expectation for how you create documents and where you keep them and things like that. So I'm starting at the Clever page, which is where you should always start. And here you can see all of my favorited tiles. Um, the way you do that is you just hover over the tile and then press the little heart right there, and then that'll pop them all up to the top. I also want you to know that there somewhere on your Clever page you will see what's called Miss Combs's page, which is where I have links to things that you may need to use, just so you know it's there. I wanted to show you how I expect you to organize your work. So, a lot of you may be used to the idea of going into, like, if you want to make a document, you go to Google Docs, or if you want to make a slideshow, you go to Google Slides. Like, you would click on these. I don't want you to do that. I want you to get into the habit of always using your Google Drive, which is this one right here. So I want you to open up your Google Drive. You can do this with me if you want to, or you don't have to. It's kind of whatever. This is my personal school Google Drive. There's nothing secret on here, so it doesn't matter that you're seeing it. And I want to show you basically how this works and how I expect you to do things when you are creating assignments for me. This may not count for every class that you're in, but for the most part, it's going to be fairly similar. So starting from here, let's say you need to make a new document to write a paper or whatever. So you're going to come over here to New, and you're going to go to Google Docs right there, and you're going to click on it. And then it's going to bring you here. Now, this is what is called the default settings of Google Docs. I have a couple issues with this. First of all, I don't know why, but the font size default is 11. It is most of the time your teachers are going to want your font size to be 12, which means that you're always going to have to change it. I do believe, though, that there is a way to change that. Once upon a time, I knew how to do it, but I don't know if I do anymore. I'll have to poke around and see if I can find that, because maybe it's under preferences. No, maybe not. Anyways, so you need to change it. So that's the first thing I always do. I change the font size to whatever font I want it to be. You can change the font if you want to, but keep in mind that now that you are in middle school, we do not allow you to use just any font you want. It is usually going to be our expectations that you use Arial, or there's another one called Times New Roman, which is right here. You can use either one of those. Sometimes I have students that will use other ones like this one or Quicksand or something like that. Those are okay because they're still easy for us to read. You absolutely should not be writing your paper in something like this. I will not even look at your paper if it's written in something like this one. So let's say you're starting this new document, and the first thing that you should be doing is putting your name on the paper somewhere, right? So you can either have it over here on the left-hand side, or you can change it over to the right-hand side, which is kind of how we do things on, like, let's say a binder paper. So that's typically how I like to do it. So let me show you what you do. Now, first of all, don't you dare click that space bar all the way over there. No, I will have a big problem with you if you try to do something like that. What you do, there's a button for this. You come up here to write a line, and you click on that. And then all of a sudden, look, your cursor is over here. So then you're going to write your name. And then you're going to click on the enter button. And then you're going to type the date. Then you're going to write the period. So let's say this is for your period 1 class. You can write the name of the class or whatever. It doesn't really matter. That part is kind of optional, but for the most part, I feel like this looks put together. Like you have everything there that I could possibly need to know. You don't need to write my name on there anywhere because I know who I am and I know I'm your teacher. So that's just not really necessary in my opinion. Now, the next thing that you need to have is a relevant title. Your title should not be here. Your title should not be over here. It needs to be in the middle. So then you come up here to center a line and you click on that. Now your cursor is in the exact center of the page. Don't try to do this yourself with the space bar or the tab bar or anything like that. It is going to be wrong and I will notice it immediately because I've looked at so many papers in my life that it is like a glaringly obvious thing to me. So you use the center line and you give me a title. So my recommendation is that you would look in Google Classroom and whatever the title is of that assignment, that should be your title. Unless you're writing a paper, then your title should have to do with whatever your paper is about. Try to avoid things like math assignment. What does that tell me? Literally nothing. And also, it doesn't tell you anything either if you try to go back and find something. Your title needs to be as specific to the assignment as possible. So instead, write something like Unit 1, Investigation 1, Problem 3, Notes. Okay, that is super specific. I know exactly what it is, and it's like good to go, right? So then you also need to make sure that you have a title for your document. So what I recommend that you do is you take this title right here, you copy it, and you paste it right in here so that the name of the document now is right here. And it makes it so much easier for you to find if you need to use the search function or if you're just looking through and trying to find things. Once you do that, you click enter. I cannot tell you how many students start writing their paper from right here. Don't do that. You need to go back up here, left align, and then start whatever you need to do. The next thing I want to show you is the outlining feature. So you have the numbered list. Outline over here, you can choose any of these things. Usually you're going to want to go with either this one or this one. Okay. And then over here is the bulleted list with all of the different bullet types that that Google Docs supports. So you can use any of these as well. Just in case you've never used these before, I'm going to kind of show you how they work. They all work the same. So when you choose one, you write something, and then when you want to move on to the next thing, you click enter. If you want something that has to do with this topic up here, then you're going to click on the tab button and it'll move you, it'll tab in to the next part, and then you can write about that. And then if you have something you want to say about this new thing that you just said, you click on enter and tab again, and you can keep going like that forever. So this is a really nice feature when you're taking notes. You have your bold, italics, and underline features right here. This changes the color of your text. This is a highlight color. So let's say you want to, highlight certain math vocab within your notes, you can go here and highlight it just like that. Let's say your teacher says, I want the paper to be double spaced. Then you're going to come up here to this option that says line spacing. You're going to click on that, and then you have the option of making it single, and then double is down here. Double is for double space. So now you have this other space in between. When you are writing a paragraph, you need to use the tab button. Do not use your space bar. That is not what you are supposed to do. So instead of writing here, you click tab and then you write here. That is how you start a new paragraph when you're writing a paper. It is my expectation that you have a title and this is called a heading for every single assignment that you turn into anything of my classes. That is an expectation that I have. I'm trying to think about other things I might want you to know. Spelling and grammar, if you just hover over it and it'll give you a recommendation for what they think that you meant. Obviously, I wrote gibberish here, so I'm not helping them out too much. But when you, if we make it back into the classroom and you would like to print something, you print it from here. You make sure that the destination says this number, which is my printer number 50572. If you just want to print certain pages, you can do custom and change the pages that you want to do. If you need multiple copies, you can make copies here. And then in more settings, a nice thing is the print on both sides feature. You can turn that on and you're going to want it to say flip on long edge. You can use this at home too if you have a printer that prints double-sided. Not all printers do. So that's how you use or make a document. I am going to show you how to make a slideshow, but I'm going to put it in a different video.